What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning back into Wrestling and Music. This is your boy Motormouth, and in this episode, I want to talk about the drug culture in hip hop. How they went from selling drugs to doing drugs in the music. Now, in hip hop, rappers have always talked about doing drugs. They've always talked about getting high, but they're getting high on weed. Weed was the drug of choice back then. Now everybody's just doing everything. I mean, name a drug and they're rapping about it. It's insane. And I want to know like how we got to this point. How did it get here? I mean, this is a serious topic. I mean, people are dying out here. Drug overdoses. I mean, people are dying literally. Lil Peep, a rapper just died from an overdose, and you putting these in these songs, and these little kids, teenagers are listening to the music and they're influenced by it, and they want to do what you're doing because they look up to you, so they go out and they get their hands on the drug that you're talking about, and now they're doing it. Now they're addicted to drugs and they're heading down a path of destruction, and it snowballs from there. It's not good. It's something serious, and it needs to stop. Hell, I remember the first time I ever did ecstasy. And you know why I did it? Because Bone Thugs had that song Ecstasy. I fell in love with the song, and I was curious as hell what they were talking about, so I went out there and did it. And we got rappers on huge platforms talking about getting high. I mean, Molly Percocet, Future came out with that one single. Now everybody's on painkillers. I mean, painkillers, Xanax, you know, Coke, whatever, man. Everybody's just on it. I just don't understand how we went from smoking weed and drinking liquor, to celebrate, a special occasion, recreational, getting high, to now where everybody stays high and everybody looks high, and that, you know, and that hurts the music that they're putting out. They're so high that they're not focusing on what they're making. And some people, I tell you what, when I used to write, and I used to love to get high and pop Xanax and drink beer and smoke weed, and man, it brought the creative side out of me. It made me write like some of the hardest shits, you know what I mean? Some of the hardest shit I ever wrote was when I was like super duper, chopped. I was chopped up, and I made some of my best lyrics, my best verses when I was like that. But don't get me wrong, I've also made some dope ass verses on a clear and sober mind. So you can do both. It just depends on what kind of artist you are and how hungry you are and how willing you are to put in the work to make a good record. Now, I grew up in Houston, Texas, all right? I grew up in the down south, but I grew up listening to New York hip hop. New York hip hop is when I started listening. I discovered rap through New York hip hop. Man, I go way back, man. I remember Rakim. I remember KRS-One, LL Cool J. I was a little too young to really understand the lyrics, but I would listen anyway, And then Prodigy, Mobb Deep, Wu Tang, Big, Nas, AZ, Cannabis, Big Pun, Fat Joe. I was listening to Terror Squad. I was listening to everything from New York. That was my shit. And they all used to talk about, getting high, sipping, drinking Henny and popping bottles, but them guys were lyrical back in the day, man. In the early 90s and the 90s, man, these guys were lyrical. It was all about the 16s, man, the verses. It was all about the verses, and you barely heard them talk about, doing drugs, getting high on your own supply. They didn't do it. Now, that doesn't mean these guys weren't doing drugs just because they weren't putting it in their rhymes, because they'll probably be looked at as a dope fiend. they're not gonna put it in their rhymes, but they're in the studio, everybody getting high. Who knows what they're on, man? These people popping pills too. They may have been, sipping lean and popping pills and snorting coke and doing all that shit, man. We look at 3 6 Mafia, man. They promoted getting high and snorting cocaine, sipping lean, and smoking weed and doing whatever they that sipping on some scissor. I hate to say it, but they may have kickstarted something way before Eminem started something. But that sipping on scissor with 3 6 Mafia featuring UGK, man, I think that was a great song, but it was definitely not a good look for the community and the younger generation, because look what that led to. That led to the drink epidemic. Now everybody knows the drink epidemic. Promethazine with bar, codeine, that is liquid heroin. Literally, it's liquid heroin, and you get heroin withdrawals when you're on them. It's the same thing with codeine pills, oxycontins, Vicodins, anything hydrocodone. Those are that's heroin as well. You know what I mean? These guys are basically on heroin, and you get the same withdrawal as you do if you shove a needle in your vein, and you're pumping heroin in it. It's the same relapse, man. So that tells you what you're dealing with, man. This is strong stuff, man. And look how many people it killed. Not saying the cause of death of all of them are certain, but look who we lost, man. We lost Big Pun. We lost DJ Screw, Pimp C, and many, 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 many more. And think about all the guys who had so much talent. I know some people who had so much talent, man. You felt like that this guy could have made it, man. But he stayed getting high. He stayed high. He was a freaking pill head, dope head, whatever he was a drunk, he was an alcoholic, he was this, he was that, whatever it was, man. He had what it took to be great, but he was so drugged up, man. He was lazy, and you can't accomplish that on if you're always high. You gotta keep a sober mind, man. And that's how you think you're gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it like that. I know plenty of dudes, man, had all the talent in the world, man, but they couldn't get off the drugs, and they just ended up stopping because they got lazy, and they just ran out their drive. They ran out of drive, man. They just gave it up when you felt like, man, this person had what it took, man. So I mean, look, rappers were still, when rap moved to the West Coast, they were talking about the same shit as the East Coast, but just in they had different slang, different beats, different, just different everything, a different culture, and they were rapping about the same stuff. But maybe I think they just, added that. I don't know. They added a certain twist, man, with that West Coast, and they're rapping about the same stuff. And think about all the guys there that may have passed away off, being high, drugs, and being high can get you killed. And so I feel like, I mean, even in the 2000s when it moved down south, they're rapping about trapping in Atlanta. They're out on that trap shit. Houston, we were on our drinking, sipping lean, smoking, riding in our car, picking up women, this and that, clubbing. Miami, they had their thing. They're rapping about fucking, getting high. We all rapped about the same shit, but for some reason, we're all like blaming this generation, and I feel like, why are we blaming this generation for it? I feel like a rap, hip hop, all combined led to this right here. All the drugs that were mentioned in songs are now in your fans' body. Your fans have these drugs in their systems. The ones that you rap about in your song, they're in your biggest fans getting high. You know what I mean? And that's sad to think about, man. And you know that happens. You know what happens, man. I was young. I've done it. I've been high, man. I've got the highest I can get, and I made sure that my favorite CD was on. You know, I mean, these kids are just product of their environment, man. And that's how it is. That's how it always was. That's how it's gonna be. And the powers that be, man, had they wanted this. This is what they wanted, man. They wanted to corrupt. They want to get rid of hip hop. They want to destroy hip hop, man. They want to burn it to the ground because they know it's an empire. It's a growing empire, and hip hop is going to be around forever if as long as the hip hop community can police itself. The hip hop community and the OGs and the forefathers, they need to have a council, man, and they need to have some structure in hip hop. It's just a jungle right now, man. We gotta have structure, and we gotta be able to make sure that hip hop will never go away. They can't let them burn hip hop to the ground, because that's what they want, and this is what they wanted. They wanted to dumb down the generation, and they were successful at it. But that's another story. Talk about that later. Now, I'm not trying to make it sound like it's this or last generation or the generation after that. I don't want to make it sound like it's their fault that this is happening, because I'm not. I just feel like it's just history repeats itself, man, and we gotta get control. We gotta get control of it and get it back, man. Get it back in our hands and our power, And by the way we do that is unite. We have to get off these drugs because too many people are dying out here. Too many people are dying, man. I know you know somebody that passed away. R.I.P. to them. R.I.P. to everybody that I lost. R.I.P. to everybody that hip hop lost. I should name them all right now, but I'm gonna save that for another video. We've lost too many figures, some stars, icons, legends in hip hop. We lost so many. We can't count them with two hands. You can't count them with two hands. You can't count them with 2 hands and 2 feet, man. We lost a lot of people, and that definitely hurt the genre. But one thing I know is that I feel like this generation right now, all the hip hop artists that have a platform, that have a nice strong fan base, a cult like following, these guys need to realize that. They need to wake up and realize what kind of platform that they have, man, and they could change something. You can do something with that, man. You have a voice. You can finally speak to the world and say what you want, man. And you're out here mumbling and rapping and getting your money, yeah. But you choosing money over legacy. I don't know about that, man. I would probably choose legacy over money. Never had that much money. I never had that much money, so I'm used to being broke. Shit. Like I said, if they stop it and do something with your platform, then that's how, that's one step moving forward, man. And be the rap game Colin Kaepernick. That spot is up for grabs. Let's see who can who can pick that up. But yeah, man, I'm kind of bouncing around, but like I said, this rap, they've always, since with the early and late '70s when hip hop first came around, they're talking about dancing and partying, and they really didn't talk about weed that much. You might hear, a couple jabs in and there, but it didn't really start until the '80s, the crack epidemic, and then that's when it just went from there. You know what I mean? Now you got so many people hooked on drugs. You got the so many people have lost their lives, and the rest are thrown in jail. And then you got the ones in the free world suffering in poverty. That ain't right. But that's another story, I guess. But it goes with what we're talking about here. We're talking about drug culture and hip hop and why it's so huge and why so many people are talking about it. It needs to stop. That needs to stop. You know what I mean? Or there's going to be a lot more deaths coming. You know, periodically, man. People are going to start dropping like flies, man. Not realizing. And shout out to Riff Raff, man. I mean, the guy, he definitely, his buzz is kind of over, but he still got a fan base, and I'm sure he could still make money on appearances and things like that. But hey, he went on Twitter and publicly announced that he's gonna stop doing cocaine because he hears that there's Federal, or a deadly drug called Federal, mixed in cocaine bags or in cocaine, and he said, "Oh, that can kill you, man." He said, "I'm out. I'm stop doing it." It's another guy hooked on drugs. Drugs are out here, man. It's the devil, man. It's the devil working, man. He's trying to get everybody. He wants to get us all, man. He's preying on the weak. We gotta overcome. That's why I give so much love and appreciation. I give shout outs, and I pay homage to real hip hop, man, real music. Not even just hip hop, man. I'm a lover of all genres. I love every genre the same, damn near. I'm not even Hispanic or Mexican, and I love Spanish music. That's probably one of my favorite. Spanish music and Tejano. I listen to everything, man. Bollywood music, but Arabic music. Hey, man, I listen to it all, man. And hip hop is like the only one where it's like that. It's just like chaos. Every other genre of music is like controlled, like it has structure. There's structure in every other genre, it seems like, but when it comes to hip hop, you just got tons of young kids running wild, you know what I mean? And they're the ones, rock groups and this and that. They don't do shows the way rap artist does. Rap artists have to go inside, you know, all these cities, different hoods. Every city got you're in a different club, in a different city, different hoods, man. Different people coming at you. You never know what you're gonna. It's dangerous, man. The dangerous lifestyle of hip hop, especially when you're touring. If you don't have that Drake, Rihanna, Beyonce, Jay-Z type tour, then your concerts could be dangerous, man. And you can look that stuff up on YouTube and find a lot of evidence of that. But yeah, you got to give rappers a lot of respect, man, for having the balls to go out there, man, and showcase their talent all over the world, man. That's what you have to do to blow up. You got to be willing to move around, travel, get an agent, get a manager, somebody that can find you and book you shows, and go out to different cities, promote yourself, man. And I salute everybody that goes out there on the road and makes that show money. So back to the topic. Let me take you back to 1999. Eminem, he drops the Slim Shady LP, and he had the Vicodin art cover on the CD. The whole album talking about pills. His damn near entire career talking about pills. Lil Wayne, and with Drake by his side, with the double cups. In every video, every time you see Lil Wayne, he has a double cup. He got addicted to that drink, that lean, and that that started something that got people sipping. And now you got the white boy talking about pills. Now you got the black guy co-signing pills. Got Future, Molly, Percocet. People probably didn't know what the F it meant. They had to go and Google and do a Google search. Go to Pill Finder or something like that, and they'll like, oh, what is this? And they go back, and now they're on. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see a pattern? Do you know how many people went to jail over drugs and substance abuse and had their lives ruined? because they couldn't get off whatever drug they were on. They couldn't shake the monkey off their back. So now we're stuck with a bunch of uneducated rappers trying to make music, and they don't even know pretty much the history. They probably don't even know their history, their rap history, their knowledge of the game. That's why you gotta appreciate conscious rappers, man. Embrace them, y'all. If y'all don't listen to conscious rap, man, y'all are missing out on some man epic type shit, man. These guys talk about they talk about the real issues that you need to hear, man. You guys know who I'm talking about. Just Google, just do your Googles, man. Do conscious rappers, and yeah, you'll see. You gotta wake up and stay awake, man. See what's going on out here, man. They're trying to put that drug culture on us, man, and it's working, man. We gotta stop. We gotta stop it, y'all. Man, that's coming from my heart, man. I've been there. I've been there in situations like that, man, and it's not fun, man. It's terrible. So you gotta overcome. We gotta overcome together, man. You gotta get these. We got to get these conscious rappers talk about, or all these rappers start talking about get political and talk about political issues, man. Start putting some meaningful words in your songs. That's what I'm saying. You gotta use your platform for a better reason, man. Not just to look cute and dress nice and this and that. And come on, man. It's bigger than that, man. It's bigger than hip hop. But anyway, that's how I feel. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I would please ask you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like, comment, share if you care. Do what you gotta do, man. Support the movement. Thank y'all for listening to Wrestling Music with your boy Motormouth, and I'll holler at you when I smile at you.